Hey Falcons fans, are you feeling the urgency as the NFL trade deadline creeps closer? Could Atlanta be on the brink of a surprise move that transforms our defense from a question mark into a strength? That's a tantalizing possibility we're diving into today. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down everything Atlanta Falcons with grit and insight. With the trade deadline set for November 4th, rumors are swirling that the Falcons might target a veteran linebacker from the Denver Broncos to shore up a critical position of need. We're going to unpack why this move makes sense, how it could impact our playoff push, and what it signals about our front office's mindset. Let's dive in. This could be a game changer. Let's set the scene first. The Falcons are in the thick of the 2025 season, battling in a fiercely competitive NFC, but our defense, specifically the inside linebacker spot, has been a nagging concern. Injuries and a lack of depth have exposed vulnerabilities, putting extra strain on a unit that needs to hold its own against dynamic offenses. As the trade deadline approaches, GM Terry Fontenot and head coach Raheem Morris are reportedly scanning the market for mid-season reinforcements, and one intriguing name has surfaced: a seasoned linebacker from the Denver Broncos. While specifics on the player aren't fully confirmed in the reports, the profile fits: a veteran with strong coverage skills, a knack for stopping a run, and the kind of on-field leadership that could stabilize our defense in crunch time. This isn't just a band-aid fix. It's the kind of strategic addition that could elevate Atlanta's postseason aspirations. Why the Broncos and why now? Denver's front office, led by GM George Paton, has a track record of being active at the trade deadline, both acquiring and offloading talent when the situation calls for it. Over the past few years, they've moved players like Von Miller to the Rams and Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins, while also bringing in pieces like Jacob Martin and Kenny Young. This season, the Broncos are grappling with their own defensive woes. Key injuries to their defensive line and inside linebacker core, including Dre Greenlaw and Drew Sanders being sidelined and Alex Singleton not yet back to full strength. With Justin Strnad filling a rotational role but lacking consistency of an every-down starter, Denver might be open to dealing a veteran for the right price, especially to a team like Atlanta that can offer immediate value in return. For the Falcons, the timing couldn't be better. November 4th is just around the corner, and the weeks leading up to the deadline often see a flurry of activity as teams position themselves for the stretch run. Let's break down why this potential acquisition is such a fit for Atlanta. An experienced linebacker from Denver could slot right into our defensive scheme, providing an instant upgrade in pass coverage and run defense. Two areas where we've struggled due to injuries and inexperience. Beyond the stats, though, his veteran presence would bring a calming influence to a young defense still finding its identity. Imagine a player who's been through the grind of multiple NFL seasons stepping onto the field at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, barking out calls, and rallying the unit during high-stakes moments. That kind of leadership is invaluable for a team like ours, which is desperate to snap a 7-year playoff drought and make noise in the NFC. Pairing him with recent draft picks like Jalen Walker from Georgia could create a dynamic linebacker tandem, blending fresh talent with seasoned know-how. Of course, no trade comes without a cost, and we need to consider what Atlanta might have to give up. The Broncos aren't likely to part with quality player for peanuts, even if their depth chart is strained. A mid-round draft pick, perhaps a 4th or 5th rounder, could be on the table, or maybe a depth player from our roster who fits Denver's needs. The good news is that the Falcons have shown a willingness to be aggressive when the right opportunity arises, as evidenced by their bold moves in the 2025 draft to secure James Pierce Jr. and Walker. Fontenot has the savvy to structure a deal that doesn't get our future assets, while addressing an immediate need. And with the NFC race heating up, acting now, before the November 4th deadline, could be the difference between a wild card berth and another year on the outside looking in. Here's the flip side. Trades always carry risk. Integrating a new player mid-season, even a veteran, isn't a guaranteed success. There's a challenge of learning our playbook on the fly, meshing with the locker room, and adapting to Morris' defensive philosophy. If the cost is too steep, say a high draft pick or a key rotational player, it might not be worth a gamble, especially if our current linebacker group starts to gel with returning players. But given the reports of persistent depth issues and the high stakes of this season, I believe the potential reward outweighs the risk. A linebacker this caliber could be the missing piece that turns our defense from a liability into a quietly dominant force, complementing an offense that's already shown top 10 potential. As we wrap this up, let's envision the impact. Picture a late-season game. The Falcons clinging to a slim lead, and this newly acquired linebacker stuffing a crucial run on third down, forcing a punt and sealing the win. That's the kind of moment a trade like this could deliver. A statement to the NFC that Atlanta is serious about contending. So, I'm throwing this out to you. Should the Falcons pull the trigger on a surprise deal with the Broncos for a veteran linebacker, or stick with the roster we've got and hope for internal improvement? Hit the comments with your take. Go all in on a trade, or trust our current depth? I'm eager to see where you stand. And if this breakdown of a potential deadline blockbuster got your adrenaline pumping, smash that like button to show some love. We've got more Falcons rumors and analysis coming as the trade deadline nears, so stay locked in. Until next time, let's keep pushing and rise up